I apologize for my previous outburst. I don't quite know what came over me. All I know is that this scene doesn't seem possible. Oh, shut up! You know what I mean! Later that night, Kenai and Kota have a bonding moment where Kenai learns that Kota knows about the Great Spirits. Kenai admits that he isn't fond of the spirits because his brother died and is up there. This is kind of a key moment because this is where Kenai finally accepts the fact that he is the one behind his brother's death, along with him finally accepting Kota. Oh, and he also learns that Kota never shuts the fuck up! Seriously, if you pay attention, he never stops talking. Actually, I take that back. You don't have to pay attention. He throws it in your face constantly. Thankfully, we only hear about a third of it, but jeez, kid, shut up!
But I'd heard about this other cub who stuck his tongue
But I digress. The next day opens with some more funny hijinks from the moose.
I spy something with bark?
Tree?
Hilarious. So Kenai and Kota quickly realize that they are lost and they decide to get off the mammoths and hoof it. Speaking of hoofs, the moose are unable to get off the mammoths, so they are left behind. Thank God! After leaving the mammoths, Kenai and Kota get into a bit of an argument that leaves Kota storming off. And with that jabbering nuisance gone, Kenai is finally relieved that he can go on his journey okay, and then he goes after Kota. Of course, this movie wouldn't be as good if it didn't have its little lovable mascot character. Now, the scene coming up is actually one of the most memorable scenes in the movie. Or at least that's what the writers wanted it to be. Don't get me wrong, it's a pretty good scene. Sorta. But not as good as they wanted it to be, in my opinion. And this is my video, and here, my opinion is always important. Oh, shut up! So Kenai and Kota make up and continue their journey together.
That was good.
Hey, maybe they can give us directions.
So after that pointless moment, Kota realizes he knows where they are, and that they are actually pretty close to their destination. But there's one slight problem.
You just have to go through here. What?
So after they enter the steaming death pit, they get a nice visit from a man clad in fur. No, actually that'd be kinda cool. No. Loincloths don't count! Nope, it's Mitsubishi, come to kill Kenai again. Yay. Wow, this guy's more persistent than Team Rocket. So Kenai breaks a hole into the ground and sends a burst of boiling hot steam into Mazda's face, which actually should have burnt the crap out of it, but hey, it's a Disney movie. Kenai and Kota manage to escape, sort of, but they somehow get separated. Now I know what you're thinking, but BMX, they're in steam. They probably couldn't see each other because of the thick cloud of steam. Oh, bullshit! In an earlier scene, you can tell that they can see each other perfectly, and they're at a farther distance. Now, unless they have the eyesight of Mr. Magoo, they have absolutely no excuse. Well, anyway, Kenai finds Kota and then starts to run through an obvious moment that will be great in the video game. Camry finally catches up to Kenai and Kota as they reach the tree bridge, where Impalas shows superhuman strength by lifting up a side of a tree while bears are walking on it. I already had a rant about this movie's logic. I don't want to go into another one. It hurt too much. Well, anyway, so Hummer decides to try and jump the valley because obviously he's going to make it, right? Well, he ends up missing the ridge, but is able to Spider-Man himself to the dangling tree. Damn it, why can't he just fall? Yay! Ah, damn it. Once Kenai and Kota continue on their journey, they find themselves at the Salmon Run. Kota is excited that they've arrived, however, Kenai has a bit of a different reaction.
Hey, God, get away! Ow, come on, shoot!
paydays floating around in the water. Looks like they're getting the poo-poo platter with a side order of fish. Okay, enough with the shitty jokes. After the scene that Kenai made, he tries to tell Kota that he has to go and that he won't be coming back. But that's when Tug, voiced by the awesome Michael Clark Duncan, interrupts and tells him he should stay, even though Kenai doesn't think he really belongs. Tug responds by saying,
"Every bear belongs here."
The preceding scene is pretty much a music video for another ridiculous pop song called Family Time. I have to say, this song really fits the scene and does a pretty good job at showing how much of a heaven the Salmon Run is. It's upbeat, it's catchy, but it's kind of all over the place, and the singers sound like they're bored out of their minds. And also, I'm amazed that they got the freaking Blind Boys of Alabama in on this song. How the hell did they get them? I mean, didn't they see who wrote this Oh, right. Anyway, later that night, when everyone is done making a music video, they all gather around and tell stories of the most interesting thing that happened to them this year. And granted, this does lead to a pretty funny line.
This year, I lost my dear husband, Edgar.
Quit telling everyone I'm dead!
Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
Okay, that gets a little chuckle out of me every time I see it. So it's finally Kota's turn to tell his story, which he tried to tell Kenai earlier, but Kenai didn't want to hear any of it. And it turns out, the story that Kota tells is the story of how his mother and him were separated by 3 very familiar-looking hunters. That's right, the bear that Kenai killed was in fact Kota's mother.
What a twist!
Yeah, we kinda knew this as soon as we met the little brat, and I'm just surprised that it took this long for Kenai to put the pieces together. Then again, this is Joaquin Phoenix we're talking about.
And, Joaquin, I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight.
Yeah, so this actually doesn't surprise me that much. After realizing he murdered Kota's mother, Kenai runs away from everybody to be alone. But then Kota smells aloneness and finds Kenai. Ah, the reveal scene. Okay, this is where Kenai tells Kota that he was originally a man and that he actually killed Kota's mother. Okay, Disney, you've done really good with scenes like this in the past, so don't fuck up here!
It's kind of about a man, and kind of about a bear, but mostly it's about a monster. A monster who did something so bad. God damn it, Phil Collins! Why are you singing? This is supposed to be a very sentimental and sad moment where Kota's realization that his mother is dead and the fact that he will never see her again is mixed with the dread that Kenai is feeling after realizing that he killed the mother of someone who has become so close to him that he actually calls him his little brother, as well as the sorrow for telling said brother that he is the reason his mother is dead and that he is the reason he will never see her again. But nope, let's put a fucking Phil Collins song here to tell the audience that they are supposed to feel sad. This is by far the worst place to put a fucking song as the main focus of the scene. I would be fine if they had some sad orchestral music in the background to help emphasize the sorrow and dread that the characters are feeling, but no! They gotta fucking tell us that we're supposed to be sad because we're too stupid to figure it out ourselves! Well, anyway, Kota runs away from Kenai and hides from him in a tree. Wait a minute, they're in the snow. How the hell is Kenai unable to find him? Just follow the damn footprints. Yeah, it's snowing, but you should be able to find him. Well, this is the guy who just figured out that it was Kota's mother that he killed. So after Kenai somehow fails to find Kota, we flash to DeLorean freezing in the storm, where he is then visited by a bald eagle right after trying to talk to Sitka's spirit. So thinking that it must be Sitka giving him guidance, he decides that he should follow the eagle. We then cut to the moose as they bicker while one is missing an antler.
Do nothing.
Oh, trample off, eh? I said I was sorry. Let it go.
I can't believe you totaled a mammoth.
Wait, what? Totaled a mammoth? How? What? Wait, how do they know that term? Holy shit! I just realized why all the mammoths died in the time between the telling of the story and the actual story. It's because of these 2 Canadian abominations against the animal kingdom. They didn't drive the mammoths into the mountain. The mammoths committed suicide by running headfirst into the mountainside. And frankly, I can relate to how they feel. So if you are ever sad about how there are no mammoths and wonder why they aren't here, now you know who to blame for that. Well, at least the scene has some sort of point. Sort of. They did help convince Kota what it means to be a true brother. Not only should you feel ashamed for learning something from these guys, but you should also feel dirty for learning something from the plague of stupidity that forced the entire mammoth species to kill themselves. So we flash to Kenai climbing up the mountainside trying to get changed back into a human when he sees something coming through the snow. But what could it be? No, it's his brother Motorola as he shows up again to try and kill Kenai. Jeez, this guy fails and yet keeps showing up so many times. All you need to do is give him a rhythmical motto, and this guy becomes a one-man team rocket. So Kenai is about to get killed, yay, when all of a sudden, Coda appears. Oh. So as they reenact the scene where Kenai kills the bear, we notice the eagle from earlier swooping in, and as soon as Kenai is about to get stabbed, we get a sudden, lightgasm? I don't know. However, Kenai isn't dead, but instead, he's turned into a human again. And hey look, Sitka! Neat. So Kenai decides that it'll be better if he stays as a bear so he can stay with Coda and make sure he's safe. So Kenai is turned into a bear, he makes amends with his brothers, and he finally gets his hand on the wall, proving that he's a man, by becoming a bear. And that was Brother Bear. And what do I think about it? Well, it could be worse. The beginning of the movie is actually really good. You can feel the connection the brothers have for each other, and you can tell it's genuine brotherly love. The mythology and culture of the native people are really interesting, and even though we only got a vague look at it, I found myself wanting to learn more about the totems and the spirits. However, when Kenai turns into a bear, that's definitely when things start to go downhill. The transformation scene by itself is by far my favorite scene in the entire movie, just because of the visuals with all the spirits. But then, right after this amazing scene, the movie suddenly turns into a compilation of sad attempts to be funny, while even throwing in terminology they really shouldn't know. How about the characters? I gotta say, they're also really good, with a few exceptions. Like I said before, you can really feel the connection the brothers have for each other, which makes the scene where Sitka dies actually a really sad one. And you also feel really sad for Denahi when he goes on his hunt for revenge against the bear that kills his brother. The animals, besides Michael Clark Duncan, are just annoying. Well, to a degree. The visuals of this movie are just beautiful, which is not too surprising considering it's Disney. A fun little thing I noticed was as soon as Kenai turns into a bear, the colors suddenly become more vibrant. Symbolism much? Also, if you pay attention, you can find some hidden things in the background that you never noticed before, which is also kind of fun. The music is a mix of both traditional Native American music with tribal drums and flutes, and the crappy and sometimes unneeded Phil Collins pop music. All in all, it's a pretty good movie. It could be worse, and thank God it's not. But still, I really don't like this movie. Even though this is Disney, this movie still gets on my nerves beyond all... oh god. Okay, Kenai, calm down. This movie is actually really good. A masterpiece, in fact. I just don't think... Oh god, my leg! Oh god, no!